Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the difference between tourists and retirees in Thailand. I thought of making this video after reading a couple of recent comments on prior videos we made on this channel. Quoting directly, it would be great if they had a 6-month tourist visa where you didn't have to leave the country. Maybe after 3 months you could go to immigration to extend it for another 3 months. Better yet, just allow you to stay 6 months without having to deal with immigration. Make a fee of $250 for this type of visa. Most tourists would come here to get away from winter in their home countries and usually stay 5 or 6 months and then head home. There was a second comment on this that says, lols, the average stay is 10 days or so. Who has 6 months off besides retirees? It would take me 10 years to accumulate 6 months off, and my company would go nuts if I took it all at once. Yeah, there is kind of a point made in the subtext here. And I'm not trying to sort of point out anyone, but there's more a subtextual point that I thought was worth noting, which is, and constantly I see these not videos, but comments, and sort of people will talk to me and they'll say, well, why doesn't Thailand have tourism visas? At the end of the day, there's kind of almost an attitude, it seems like, why doesn't Thailand have a tourist visa that just lasts forever? That seems to be kind of the underlying, the sort of sub rosa, if you will, message I hear when I hear that. But the long story short is Thailand doesn't want to do that. It doesn't want to just let in a bunch of people that just live here forever that, without any good reason. They have their own economy to maintain, their own nation state to maintain. That's just not how they're going to run things. Meanwhile, if you actually look at the way that the visa exemption situation is in Thailand right now, which is basically, look, you can come in, get a 45-day stamp upon entry. You can extend that by 30 more days. Well, that's 75 days. That's 2.5 months. And as we've discussed in other videos, there's a royal decree on this, which basically stipulates that, yeah, you can get 2 exemption stamps, depending on your nationality, but pertaining to any of the English speakers basically watching this video, yeah, anybody that's from an English, that's sort of the Anglosphere, maybe Europe, other countries, some parts of Eastern Europe as well, that can come into Thailand and just get 30 days, or presently, temporarily at least, 45 days just on arrival. And again, there's been a royal decree to the effect that those folks can enter twice a year and gain the same benefits. What's the upshot of this? Well, if you look at it, 75 days plus 75 days is 150 days. I mean, that's basically half a year. I mean, it's a little shy of 180 days by about a month. But as the first commenter noted, okay, there are people that want to come here for 5 months. As it currently sits, that's possible to do on an exemption. Now, yeah, you got to do a few things to deal with immigration to maintain status. But yeah, you can get 5 months in a relatively straightforward manner at the present time. Meanwhile, as the second commenter noted, not a lot of folks have that amount of time for just a tourism excursion. That's not a real regular requirement of folks that want to be tourists in Thailand. And this is kind of where you get into the differentiation between, retirees that come here and may only spend perhaps half their year here in Thailand versus tourists who may try to come and spend a prolonged period of time, but most of the time they have to be somewhere. They got to get back to work usually. And I think that the difference is worth mentioning, hence the reason for the video. So again, there is a difference in mindset between tourists and retirees. For those retirees out here who do not necessarily spend all their time in Thailand in a given year, I do have to say, especially at the present time, probably not a bad idea to look into getting a retirement visa, if only to be in the system so that if there are major changes down the road, one sort of has their visa situation sort of locked up for those purposes.